chairman had his brains blown out, and he lay in his bed, sleeping at 4:30 in the morning.
Someone came into the room, started shaking the chair. The chairman, wake up, the pigs was laughing. And I saw bullets coming from, it looked like, the front of the apartment, from the kitchen area. They were pigs to shoot. And around this time, I jumped on top of the chairman. He looked up. Looked like all the pigs converged at the entranceway to the bedroom area, back bedroom area. The mattress is just going, you could feel the bullets going into it. I just stayed everybody in there. When he looked up, he didn't say a word, he didn't move, except for moving his head up. He laid his head back down to the side like that. He never said a word, he never got up out the bed. The person who was in the room, they kept hollering out, stop shooting, stop shooting. We have a pregnant woman, a pregnant sister in here. At that time, I was 8.5 to 9 months pregnant. My baby was delivered in 2 weeks. Pigs kept on shooting. So I kept on hollering out. Finally, they stopped. They pushed me and the other brother by the kitchen door and told us to face the wall. Heard a pig say, he's barely alive, he'll barely make it. I assume they were talking about Chairman Fred. So then, they started shooting the pigs, they started shooting again. I heard the sister scream. They stopped shooting. Pig said, he's good and dead now. Pigs were running around and laughing. They were really happy, you know, talking about Chairman Fred is dead.
I must say they are a handsome and healthy and pretty happy-looking bunch of children, and Yogi especially. I imagine that she must have been a real consolation at the time of the tragedy.
Yes, she was, Mike. She was really so much of a consolation to me because of the way she accepted this with so much understanding and so much courage, and it was so reassuring to me. And, Mommy, I'm not going to cry because my dad is not dead. He may be dead physically. And one day, I'm going to see him again. And she said, Mommy, you are such a brave and strong lady. I don't know what I'd do if I were in your shoes. Mommy, should I hate the man who killed my dad in? And I said, no, darling, Daddy wouldn't want you to do that. And of course, I also said to her, you are so brave, and I'm so proud of you. And I put my arms around her. And of course, she didn't cry very much. I didn't see her crying anymore, really. Mm-hmm. And she's been very happy and very well adjusted since, because she too feels that there was meaning in this death. You know, what my husband said so often, that unearned suffering is redemptive. And I think somehow all of us have felt that he gave his life in such a meaningful way, that what he lived for and what he gave his life for will bring about some of the changes that are necessary.
I think that you would like to hear perhaps what went on in my mind for the last 30 days. Well, I might not can tell you very clearly because I'm not sure myself. But to begin with, 30 days ago, I was very busy getting Emmett to go away on a trip that I thought would be the highlight of his 14 years. And I had taken every precaution to make it his nicest trip ever. And before his 2 weeks were up, at the end of the first week, I was supposed to have gone away myself. But on Tuesday of that week, I just got so tired until I couldn't go away. I had made every preparation to leave, but suddenly I just gave out. I didn't have any strength. And as the week neared the end, I started thinking, I said, well, maybe I don't think Emmett's going to stay the entire 2 weeks. I said he'd be so happy if he put the key in the door Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, and I was sitting here. So I just decided that I wouldn't take a vacation, or if I would, it would be the following week. And on that Saturday, or rather that Sunday morning before day, my baby was taken from his uncle's home and my aunt's home. And I found out about it 9:30 Sunday morning. I was in bed. I got up, called my mother when I got the news, because I had every decision I had ever made or every crack that I had ever been in, it took her to get me out of it. And I took that one to Mama too, because I didn't know what to do. Mother told me to come right over and she would start making calls. And I got over there as quickly as I could make it. And that wasn't very long. When I got there, I saw that Mother wasn't going to be able to do this for me. She was getting weaker by the minute. And it seemed that her strength was flowing into me. She had called Mr. Moody, and Mr. Moody had came and stood by us and told us what to do and how, or rather who to go to get something done. That was the NAACP. They in turn sent me to Attorney Huff, and that's why I'm with Attorney Huff today. Well, after we found out that he was missing, we went through the strain of that for 3.5 days. And I asked God, I said, God, please let something happen. Don't let me go on like this forever, because I can't stand it. I'm not bitter against any race. I'm not even particularly bitter towards the men that did this thing, because I know that if they had known what they were doing, they would not have done it. And I wouldn't say that it was God's will that it happened, but he had a reason for letting it happen. I was smug. I was content. I was in 6 rooms. I had a car. I had a kid. Nobody bothered us, and I had a good job. I thought it was sufficient to mind my own business. I didn't realize that everything was my business, that the way the people are treated all over the earth was my business. Now I know it. And I want to say that I feel that Emmett was more or less lone to me, that perhaps I wasn't his mother in the sense that other women are mothers to their children. But I appreciate the 14 years that we spent together. It was a joy watching the unfolding of his mind and the development of his body. And I don't regret a minute of the time that we spent together. I'm just sorry that it was so short. Because if I had known that we were going to be separated so quickly, I probably would have done the wrong thing trying to do the right thing. But I feel like that I did the very best that I could, and I don't have any regrets for any time that we spent together.
Do you fear for your own life and the lives of your children?
Yes, I think this is one of the things that my husband's kept saying, and that he feared for his family's life.
You saw your husband last, or when did you see your husband last talk to him, rather, this afternoon, and what did you talk about?
Well, yesterday he was going to check in at a hotel to be able to get some work done that he wanted to get done, that he couldn't get done where we are staying because it's crowded. We moved in with friends after our house was bombed, and he checked into a hotel to be able to finish some work. And he called me last night and said that he had picked up his typewriter and that he was going to get the work done. And he called me, and I asked him before he left if I could come to the meeting. I said, can I come to the meeting tomorrow? And he says, no. And then today he called me, and he says that he'd like for me to come to the meeting, and he'd like for me to bring all of the children if I could get them ready. And I told him, yes, I'd try.
Do you think this indicated he had a premonition that something would happen today?
Well, I have no idea, but it was a very warm conversation we had.
Do you think, ma'am, that this assassination is likely to touch off reprisals against black Muslims by Malcolm's followers?
Will you make any effort at all to continue your husband's work?
Yes. What do you see as the future of your husband's movement, ma'am? Do you think it will continue without him? Did your husband leave you well off, ma'am? Are you able to support yourself?
No, we are without funds. When my husband was in the black Muslim movement, I mean, everything that he made was turned over to the black Muslim movement. And we received money just for the barest of necessities. Then after he left the Black Muslim movement, everything was turned over to Muslim mosques and corporates, trying to unite the Negroes in this country with the Afro-Americans in this country, I should say, with the Africans throughout the world.
Since the bombing of your home, has the police made any effort to offer you protection?
If Malcolm's assassins are caught, what do you think should be done with them?
Did you start to reply to the question about the police protection? Did they make any effort at all to offer you protection?
Well, I guess they did make an effort, yes.